Well, I hope what I'm going to try and do today might be of interest to some. It's going to be a little tour of just the village and a few things in it that might be of interest or of note or worth pointing out. I don't know. So here we go, and it's going to be based on the old A40 stretch. I'm going to do that. It's probably not even a mile, probably half a mile if that, of original A40. The new bypass, as it was at the time, was opened by Princess Alexandra on May the 15th, 1973, on her way up to declare Llyn Y Fan Dam in Llanwrda open. And I was one of the kids from the primary school, which is long since closed. We were all stood at the side of the new bypass to wave our flags at Princess Alexandra as she went through, went through on her way to open the dam. I would have been 8 years old at the time. The school has long since closed. Both my children attended it, which is nice. We'll go and take a little look at it on our little tour of the village and a few points of interest. So anyway, I'll get going, and we're not going to go very far from home, but we'll probably rack up perhaps 3 or 4 miles in total, I think. Let's give it a go. We'll also be going part way up the Roman road. Just tickling the carburettor. I know the way I do it seems to sort of upset some people, but that's the way I do it, and that's the way I'll be carrying on doing it. Loaded it a bit too much, I think. Right. First of all, I'll get to the far end of the old stretch of A40 and turn into it, and we'll come back towards the village along it. So this is the bypass that was opened in 1973. to get our bearings, to the left we go on and eventually reach Llanwrda. To the right we'd be heading for Llanwrda on the A40. This that we're about to go along is the old original bit of A40. More than a glorified lay-by now. Right, you can see in front of us there, leading to where that tractor is parked, there's some of the original A40 again, and we're going to pick it up going through the village next. Okay, the Roman road. Okay, pop off here a minute. This field in front of us used to be the village cricket team's field, but it got sold and the people that bought it didn't want the cricket team here anymore, so they've moved to Llanwrda. Down there we've got the neighbouring village of Llanwrda, behind it the Black Mountain, and then over that way there's sort of three peaks. There's one sharpish one in the middle. It's in the cloud a bit today. They're the mountains of Llyn Y Fan. Actually, rather foolishly climbed straight up that once a couple of years ago. Obviously I made it, but not something I want to do again. Anyway, as we've often done, if we carry on that way, we come out in Llanwrda, but we're not doing that today. We're going to turn around, head back down into the village, and look at some of the stuff down there. back in the village, back on the old A40 again. There's the village hall, built in 1953, Coronation Hall. The old school. On my left, the Cornwallis buildings. This is where I used to go to school for most of my primary school life, from the age of 7 years old until 11. And I actually did my cycle proficiency test around this yard, believe it or not. So this school closed a good few years ago, but as I said, both of my kids attended it, which is nice. There, Cornwallis Alms house, and that was built to house young unmarried ladies who were in service, i.e. they might have been servants for wealthy people or better off farmers or whatever, and they could live there. That was divided into 4, believe it or not, 4 flats, so they must have had very spacious flats. That is a big old house, and I'm hoping discuss that in a video in the future, in conjunction with the some of the people who are responsible for and manage that, and hopefully we'll have a little look around inside and get to know a lot more about it. But for now, back to the old A40. Where we join the old A40 down here, on my immediate left, be the old Triumph Cub, which again closed a few years ago now, but I used to enjoy a good few boozy nights in there. Here's the pub. There's the village shop, which used to be a post office, and that had petrol pumps outside it. And over the road there, a garage, that also had petrol pumps. And this is the main A40 before the bypass was built. Traffic here, coming from the left or right, would have had to give way to us originally. River Shoe Light. There it is. Quite swollen. We've had a fair bit of rain recently. And look at this. Back on the old A40. And we can do 30 miles an hour again now. car back on the new bit. So, there we have it, the A40, and heading up through the village there. That's the A482 which leads to Llyanwrda. So originally, the original crossroads was over there, just the other side of those trees. And then this is the old station road which I live on. But the bypass cut through, you can actually see originally station road came down past those houses there where those cars are parked. That's a bit of the old road, straight across where I'm standing pretty much. It continued